Hi, you're here with Hello Canada, where we are chatting with the lovely Anna Silk,
Hello.
star of Lost Girl, soon to be mother of two,
Yes.
and also the latest celebrated ambassador for Plan Canada, where she's working with the Because I Am a Girl campaign for the International Day of the Girl, which is this Sunday on the 11th. And we're encouraging all of you to go take the pledge for women everywhere, for girls everywhere, at becauseIamagirl.ca/pledge for girls. We're going to talk a little bit about the campaign. We're going to talk about family and, of course, Lost Girl. So we'll jump right in. Welcome. It's Anna's first Periscope, so we're really excited.
Yeah, first time.
First time. First question.
Okay, let's
What
go.
inspired you to get involved with Because I Am a Girl?
Well, I noticed that Because I'm a Girl campaign when it started about 6 years ago. I noticed all the posters around Toronto, and it really caught my eye, and I started paying attention to the campaign and going online and reading a little bit about it here and there. And but I think it was when I had my son 2.5 years ago, I realized, I was in a hospital with all the resources I could possibly need, should I need them. And I thought about all the women around the world that don't have those resources, and that really hit me quite hard. And then I learned, from Because I'm a Girl, the statistic that the #1 cause of death in the developing world for women 15 to 18 is pregnancy and childbirth, which is shocking
In this day and age.
Yeah, so it really hit me, and I sort of, over the seasons on the show, I was approached Because I'm a Girl. They sort of approached me, and we met, and it went from there.
Yeah. You've said, in terms of women who have inspired you and empowered you in your life, that your mother was a major influence and your grandmother was a major influence. What are some of the words of wisdom that they've given, and how were they so impactful?
Well, they were, my grandmother's no longer with us, sadly, but she was an incredible woman. She was a pioneer in her own time. She really fought for the life she had, and didn't necessarily have a formal education, and worked very hard to create a good life for her family. She used to always say to me, "Education is power." She's from Cyprus. She's Turkish. And she would always say, "Education is power," to my teenage self, who was like, "Yeah, whatever."
Sure.
If only I'd listened a little bit more. But she was right, And my mother, I got to grow up with a mother who loved what she did for a living and got to go to work every day happy, and really affected our community in a big way through the arts.
So she worked in the theater.
Yeah. So
was there anything she always said, or anything that you took away as...
my mother just always believed in me. Whatever I was going to do, she believed in me. So, when I went to university and I got a psychology degree, and then I was like, okay, and I'm going to go pursue acting because it's really what I wanted to do. And she didn't really bat an eye. She said, go do it.
And I'm sure that'll transfer on to you with
Sam and with
this
next one.
Has motherhood changed the way that you think about the acting roles that you choose or the charity work that you do?
Yeah, I think motherhood changes you instantly. I've always heard that from friends, and you read about that, but I think it just opens your heart up in such a big way that you can't anticipate. So it always makes me very emotional when I start talking about it. But it definitely it makes me just sort of see the world in a different way, and see the world that my son is growing up in, and want it to be the best place possible.
You hosted a lemonade stand at your house.
Yes.
And I think you told us that Sam was really excited to be involved.
He was.
What was that experience like with him, and does he know like a little bit about what it's for?
Well, he knew something special was happening that day. And so, it was really important to me that, we, Because I'm a Girl, were lovely enough to create a little invitation for us. And Sam, we did the hand-delivered each invitation, and he did that too. He still plays, actually, we still have some left over, so he plays with them.
Cute.
He carries around a picture of his mother, which I love. And on the day, we had a lot of neighbors come out, and Sam was covered in lemonade, but really happy. And the next day, he sort of walked out like, "What? Where's all the people? Where's the balloons?" But it was a really powerful thing to do in the community that I'm in. You know, we invited the block, and I invited some other friends that I have in LA, and people were really, you know, generous, obviously, with their donation, but also they really took the time to learn about the cause and go online. There's a lot of young women in the neighborhood who wanted to help, and I sort of said to them at one point, you know, do you know that you guys are role models for girls around the world? And that kind of hit them like, yeah, we are, you know. So it was really cool, and people still talk about it in my hood.
That's really
So,
awesome.
yeah.
It's interesting. People don't always realize that, you know, you as just a person can touch people all over the world. And make a really big impact. And if there's one thing that people take away from the International Day of the Girl, what would you hope for?
Well, I think the most important thing to realize is that girls' rights are human rights. So, you know, for the Day of the Girl specifically, we're asking people to take the pledge. So go take the pledge. Look,
take the
you
pledge.
You can even do it like this. I've got my equal sign because we are all equal. I just want people to take away that it's a call to action, the Day of the Girl, but you can do it any time of year. The smallest thing you can do, even just spreading awareness, makes people aware and makes people realize what's going on, and just they can make a difference.
Getting a conversation going.
Yeah.
Flipping over to your exciting arrival.
Yes.
So you're not due till next year,
That's
but
right.
Is Sam excited? Is he kind of aware that he's going to be a big bro?
He's
2.5, right?
He's 2.5. He knows that this is a baby. He points and says baby. And he knows what a baby is, but I don't think he's put the two together that there's actually going to be a new baby in the house. But
that comes later.
We're already getting him ready. I went and bought some books last week about being a big brother and what that means and how special that is. So I think he's going to be really excited. He's going to be a great big brother.
Do you and Sam have any favorite activities together?
Oh my gosh, Sam is very goofy. Like, he really likes to laugh. So we giggle a lot. We chase him around the house a lot.
Yeah. That's
he,
good.
He
Also,
and I
because it tires him
specifically
out.
read. Yes, it does, and you need that. He and I specifically like to read together because that's one way that we connected when he was very young. And, that's how we kind of got his language started, was through books.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of a special thing that he and I do together.
How would you feel if he decided he wanted to be an actor? I imagine because of your experience with your mom.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I would encourage him to do whatever he wants. You know, it's not the easiest profession, but I don't think anything is really.
No.
You know, so I would encourage him to be, you know, whatever he wants to be.
And what about the name for the next baby? Are you
I
and
know.
Seth kind of? Is there a debate? Are you?
There is a little bit of a debate actually, because we are having another little boy, and Sam.
I wish there was blue confetti that went off right now.
Yeah, Sam was kind of our boy's name, so we're like, My husband actually thought that because it's Samuel, we thought we could name our second son Samson, and then they could both be Sam. They just take care of it.
Sam squared.
Yeah, Sam squared. Oops, I might. But yes, we actually have 3 names in the mix.
Okay.
But they're secret.
Options. They're secret, of course.
Yes, they're secret, and
it'll depend on.
Yeah, we'll just kind of every week we kind of try one on. We're like, let's call him this week, and we'll
shout it around the house. And now, probably the moment that people have been waiting for, Lost Girl talk.
Okay, great.
If you could go back and act out any scene from an episode again, is there one in particular that stands out, or just any episode that you really, really loved working on?
There's so many, and they all kind of blend together for me as one big long story. I mean, our finale this year was, you know, our final episode ever was incredible. It was incredible to shoot because it was, you know, when I read that script, it was like reading the last chapter of the greatest book, you know, for me. And I was so happy with how it all ended. So, I don't know. It was, everyone really brought their A game because it was like, this is the last time.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I could have that experience again, but that one would be another one to experience all over. Would be great.
Well, speaking of the finale, we had a fan tweet in.
Okay.
Alicia Chang, wanted to know, there are only a few episodes left, how should she prepare for the finale? And I think maybe she's like hoping for a little teaser, but will she need Kleenex? Will she need popcorn? Should she have wine?
I think she needs all of that in abundance.
So a whirlwind. Expect a whirlwind.
Yes, the last episode that aired here in Canada was a huge episode. We lost two of our finest cast members.
Yeah.
Two of our finest characters.
Yeah.
And it's going to have a big impact on Beau and the gang. So, we're going to see where that kind of leads. And there's only 3 episodes left, and there's so much that happens. So I would just say buckle up, get ready, have a little wine if that's your choice, have a little, popcorn, some comfort foods maybe, but also be ready to kind of embrace where the show is going to go. I feel like, when I read the last episode, and the characters still live on in my mind. I picture them still doing their thing, and and
sure
they are.
That'll be for a long time.
Yeah. So just get ready and enjoy it.
Being that the characters live with you so much, and you've spent so much time with Beau, can you wear leather boots and not go in character? Is that
you know what? I actually
automatically happens?
That's right. I know. I get into my stance.
Yeah.
I wore Beau's leather boots yesterday. I was doing some other press.
I saw that on Twitter.
Yes. So I wore those boots, and it's funny, they have some battle wounds on them for me from fight scenes I did in them. But they're very comfortable. They're very worn in. I definitely. It was funny. I remember after the first season, you're on set so much, which is wonderful, and you play this really strong character. And I remember being in line at Shoppers Drug Mart and hearing someone behind me sort of complaining, and I sort of turned to them and gave them this look Beau, don't mess with me. And I'm what am I doing? This poor woman is getting this stare down from Beau. There's definitely, Beau was such an empowered character, and she definitely stood up for girls' rights, and definitely, taught me a lot. So she stays with me.
That character helped to empower.
Totally, absolutely.
Are you going to watch the finale live? Do you mind watching yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I usually eventually watch almost every episode, not every episode necessarily, but I find it very hard to remember the order of events if I don't watch them. But I'll be definitely watching the finale with my family and maybe with some friends, and I can't wait. I have never seen the final cut of it, so I'm really
that's so excited. That's really cool. Did you take any mementos from set?
I have a lot of stuff.
Okay.
It's funny in my closet because I have my boots, my hats, my dagger.
My Beau section.
Because Beau's leg dagger, which was designed specifically for me, I have that. And I have a lot of wardrobe, which is great. Lots of black type things. And I have her kimono, a couple of her kimonos, which were kind of iconic on the show. I did a huge fight scene in our pilot, which was episode 8 in season 1, in a red kimono, so I have that.
And it
actually still has a little hole in the back. I have 2 of them. One has a hole for the stunt girl.
Cool.
For her wire.
That's awesome. You are an active person. You like staying active. We were talking about prenatal yoga before.
Yes.
What's your motto when it comes to health and fitness? I'm sure you got a lot of exercise when you were shooting the show.
I did.
Obviously, but
I did, yes.
Outside of that.
I feel like I've tried so many different types of exercise over the years. I love yoga. I like yoga with a little toning in there, but I feel like my body responds the best to it. I feel good. I'm not a CrossFit kind of person. I love that people do it, but I feel ill afterwards.
Me too.
So I feel like fitness and wellness, it has to be part of who you are, and it has to fit into your life, first of all, but also it should feel good. It shouldn't feel like a chore and you're going to throw up. Yeah, exactly. So, I spend a lot of time in Los Angeles, so we hike a lot, and I do a lot of yoga. I do a little bit of Pilates, and just try to, wherever I am, I try to get a little exercise.
Get a little bit in here and there.
I try to do something.
What about your number one beauty rule?
Gosh, if you could see me most of the days, it would just be comb my hair. Number one beauty rule, I say, I'm kind of obsessed with French beauty and sort of how French women put themselves together, because they don't try to change what they have, they try to emphasize what they have. So I would say work what you got, and it's beautiful. So let you shine through whatever beauty routine you try.
You decide.
Yeah.
after long days on set, how do you decompress? Is it with yoga, or do you have any rituals or ways that you
decompress? I'm usually getting ready for the next day of shooting.
Right.
But I try to bring sort of yoga type breathing and that kind of thing into my entire day, especially when I'm working. You know, when I was walking from my trailer to set, I would do some deep breaths and just try to, you got to keep yourself level. Otherwise you get a little bit spun out. So, yeah, so I do that kind of stuff. I do, you know, you don't have to do an hour of yoga. You can do one pose and feel really good.
Right.
So.
More, and now we have more fan questions.
Yeah, I love questions.
Okay, at I love my big sis 13, which is the cutest, sweetest Twitter handle I've ever heard. What's your favorite quote or life motto? Maybe that's hard on the spot, but if there's anything,
you know, okay, my favorite quote. I converted to Judaism. My husband is Jewish, and we did classes together.
Okay.
And we were taught by this incredible female rabbi, which was really cool. And I remember her talking in class one day about individuality. And she said, find your light and shine it on the world. And I thought that was so beautiful, and it really stuck with me. And that's just sort of about, you know, finding your individuality and making that what you shine, and really owning who you are. So I like find your light and shine it on the world.
And it really ties into because I am a girl.
It does.
Because every girl and every person has a light. And
everyone's got
we all need to shine it.
Yeah.
At Jaylene Martine 3 says, was it hard to leave the show after so many seasons?
Yes.
Simple answer.
It was, but you know, we all embraced the show so much that we didn't walk away and go like, oh my God, it's over. We should have appreciated it. We knew what we had when we had it. We knew we had a great cast and crew. We knew we had a great fan base and still do. So we really appreciated every step of the way, especially towards the end. We were just embracing it. So I said to my husband, the last day of filming, you know, we shot the last scene of the whole thing. We shot it last. Very hard for me not to get weepy.
The end. Yeah, honestly.
The end, and we did it, and it just felt like, I walked out of that studio and everything just disappeared in smoke. Like, you know, like it was a beautiful dream or something. Yeah. So I definitely miss it, but we really walked away strong.
That's a very fitting, grand finale to your experience. This one is at FYABO.
All right.
How do you manage everything with being pregnant and your charity work and acting work and all of the different things that you do? Is there any way that you kind of balance?
Well, people used to ask me on the show, like, how do you get all the energy to do the show? And I didn't know in the beginning either. I'd be like, okay, I've got to eat more energy-giving foods, and I've got to have energy. And what I learned is that when you have a lot on your plate, which a lot of people do in various jobs, the most important thing is to know when to rest. So take your time. Take those moments that you have to rest. Sit down, put your feet up.
Do it.
Do your yoga breathing, whatever resonates with you. But if you take those little Energizer Bunny recharging moments, you will have a lot of energy, and you'll be able to kind of do everything you want to do.
Yeah. Good advice. Sound. At 7 Days and Someday asks, what does a perfect day look like for you? And what's your favorite childhood memory? It's a two-parter.
Oh my gosh. Perfect day would be waking up with my family, making breakfast. My husband would make pancakes. We would maybe go for a nice hike or go to the ocean, which I love to do. And then maybe meet up with friends in the evening and have dinner and that kind of thing. Really simple, but that's
it's with the people you care about.
Yeah, would be my perfect day. And my favorite childhood memory.
I have so many like behind the scenes when at the theater or
I know. Childhood memory. My first acting role was I played a squirrel in our local theater in a production of Hansel and Gretel. That was fun.
That's really fun.
My friend was a bunny and I was a squirrel. I don't know. My childhood was pretty idyllic. I grew up in Fredericton, New Brunswick. I say it's like growing up in a park. It's so beautiful. So I have just a lot of memories of being with friends and I don't know. I can't think of one specific
it's
memory.
So hard on the spot to think of
that. Yeah. It's a good question, though.
It really is. Next, rapid fire question.
Okay.
If you're up for it.
So what is it? I just answer quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the finale, and then we will bid you adieu, and thank you so much for being here with us. The
Please,
show
before the rapid fire.
Yes.
I feel like I just want to say one more thing about the campaign for Because of the Girl, because I know this is live, and Day of the Girl is October 11th. So we're trying to get as many pledges as we can before that day and on that day, because for every pledge, Sears Canada is donating $1. So it's a really, really big deal, and it's a really easy way to take action. And what you do have to do is just go online to becauseimagirl.ca. It's very clear where to take the pledge. Take the pledge, put in your name, and it's all you have to do. Or you can go on social media, put this equal sign on your hand, take a photo, hashtagging Brighter Future. It's super, super simple, and
I did it.
Yes.
Easy.
Yes.
And felt great.
It feels great, and it's so easy, and I would love it if you guys did it, and I know that it supports girls around the world. So great reason to do it. So I just wanted to say that before we start.
Yes.
But I'm ready for rapid fire.
Absolutely. Everyone do it. Rapid fire. Here we go. The show is called Lost Girl, but would you say you're good at directions or not?
I'm actually really good at directions. We were talking about it this week.
Not a lost girl.
Yeah, I'm generally not lost.
What do you miss most about Canada now that you have relocated to LA?
I mean, Canada is such a unique, special place. The people are just so warm and lovely, and not that they're not in LA, because they're warm and lovely there too, but there's a Canadian sensibility that I miss.
What other character on the show would you have loved to have played?
I always say Vex because he's just so, bad, so good at being bad. Or the Morgan, she's just wonderfully bad. So I love her too, yeah.
What's the funniest thing Sam has ever said to you?
Oh my gosh, what's the funniest thing?
Is there one? Or your favorite thing?
Oh my gosh. He's just funny. He's really funny. He makes me laugh all the time. I can't think of the funniest thing. There goes my mic.
It's just one big funny. That's not bad. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. When you're feeling down, what's one thing that's guaranteed to cheer you up?
News bloopers.
News bloopers.
Yes, news bloopers.
It's amazing. The best pick-me-up song, if you have one.
Walking on Sunshine.
And last but not least, the best place to eat in Fredericton.
My mom's house, my mom's kitchen. She's a great cook.
An empowering woman and a great cook.
Yes. Yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Anna. This was really awesome.
Thank you. This was wonderful. My first time.
So excited for the finale. Yeah, your first time.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what happens. And
bye, guys. Thank
take
you
the
so
pledge.
much. Yeah, take the
Thanks
pledge.
for tuning in.
Thank you for joining me. This was wonderful. Thank you.
First one.
It'd be good if I knew how to turn it off.